Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video we're going to be pushing end season live inside of Clash Royale and gonna just try to push as high as we can and see what rank we manage to finish. Alright, so hopping in the first match, we're going to be up against Anaban, and we do have the Queen version once again here. I don't think the Firecracker version is too good right now. It feels like it's just in a bit of an awkward spot in the meta for top ladder at least, but definitely still viable. Alright, so not really sure what Anaban is playing here. He has like NATO for some reason. And he does have Ram Rider as well, so I guess he has like some weird breach spam deck, but for some reason he does have Tornado in there, whereas they normally don't have that, which is kind of odd, but gonna see what other cards he has in the deck. So he's gonna cycle back to another NATO, so this might be a little bit annoying here. But the nice thing is that like we're gonna rely mostly on the EQs to get us chip damage rather than the actual Hogs getting hog hits on his tower. So shouldn't be the end of the world that he has Tornado. I'm not sure if he like sniped us or something, because I know Anaban does snipe pretty much everyone, so he might have just used Tornado in the deck because he saw that I was online, but not too sure. But yeah, we have a pretty good start here so far, and if we just like keep up the good pressure and EQ cycle and all that, we could do pretty well here. Looks like we won't even need a bomb tower on his Ram Rider. The Queen is honestly really good against it. Like if you ever see like a Ram Rider and you don't want to spend your bomb tower, you can just go with like a high Queen and then use the ability, and it will finish off the Ram Rider very easily. So yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go with a bomb tower here. We might have been able to activate King Tower, but it's kind of risky with the bandit behind there. Don't really want to take the chances. And he does go with the lightning there, which was pretty aggressive, I feel like, so I'm gonna go in with the hog here. Looks like he's gonna have enough for a Ram Rider, but he did still spend quite a bit on the lightning, so we should be in a fine spot still. And we do get a hog hit right there, so putting us in a good lead here. And I'm gonna get another EQ off on his tower. The nice thing is that the NATO, even though it like helps him a lot at countering my Hog Rider, also makes his cycle really slow, so we can get like a lot of value out of like fire spirits and kind of just out cycling him in general. It looks like Hog is gonna get 2 shots over there, so really good. Unfortunately, his bandit does actually somehow dash on our Queen, but should be pretty okay here. We do have to watch out for a lightning in a second, probably. Yeah, he is gonna go for it, but bomb tower is really tanky, so even though we put it in kind of like a position where it's gonna get damage down pretty quickly, it's still gonna get good value here. So yeah, the Ram Rider will charge unfortunately on our tower, but he is gonna have to respond to the fire spirit, and you can just see like how much elixir just that little fire spirit is always forcing out. So yeah, looking pretty good here. We do have to watch out for the Inferno Dragon, but luckily it looks like the tower is actually going to be targeting the Inferno Dragon. And Ram Rider is probably going to get a charge on our tower here. Not looking too good here, but he did spend quite a lot once again, so we should be in a pretty okay spot. And he does go with the MK in the back right as we go in with the Hog, so Hog actually going to get a hit there, and I think we just need like 2 more EQs at this point, so we should be able to cycle back to it before he can beat us. And we do actually have drag glitch on the EQ. Perfect timing with the drag glitch as usual, but hoping we can defend here pretty well. And I'm sorry if my commentary isn't as good, guys, because it is like the very end of the season here, so trying to really focus as well as I can, but commentary might suffer a bit because of that. But looks like we're gonna pick up a pretty good win here. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're actually going to be up against Moogie, so I have no idea what he's running, but it's going to be up against Moogie, so it's probably going to be a good fight either way. So he does have Valkyrie plus Skeletons and Log. Not too sure what this means. Could be probably just some random cycle deck, as Moogie is usually known for playing, but gonna have to wait and see here. Just gonna Fire Spirit, because he spent like a lot of his cheap cards, I think, right there, so yeah. And Looks like he's gonna have some minor chip deck, but he actually lets our Fire Spirit connect, which is already gonna put us in a really good spot right here. And no point to really EQ his Tesla anymore, because it's already gonna die pretty much, so wouldn't really have done much for us either way. Even though this matchup is normally really hard, the nice thing is that we do have the Queen in our deck, and he doesn't have the Queen, so we can actually sometimes like have a 3-card cycle and can out-cycle him, but looks like he did keep up with our cycle right there for that Hog Rider, so still will be a little bit difficult, but maybe we can kind of like stack Queens in the lane he's going for, then just like EQ cycle him and maybe get a couple incidental Hog hits if we're lucky. Honestly, it's not really good to use your Queens aggressively when you're facing a deck with Royal Delivery, because it's always really hard to get like value with Queen at the river, because they can just like Royal Delivery really early and then they force you to use that early ability, and now with like the Queen being super slow while it like walks forward, it's not really gonna allow your Queen to get any value. And I mean not when the Queen walks forward, but like it now happens like where the Queen is a lot slower while it's in the ability, so that's what I mean. Alright, and our Hog actually might get a couple hits, but okay, he does manage to get the Tesla down last second, but we're still in a pretty decent spot here. We do have to watch out for his EQ though, because we can't really like stop his miners too well. We do actually end up predicting it twice in a row though, which is really good for us. Alright, so luckily we do have a Queen down, so now we're already going to be almost back to another Hog Rider, so could potentially outcycle him here. I'm just going to go with another Hog at the bridge. He might try to defend it without a Tesla, but I think we're still going to make him spend quite a bit, so honestly pretty fine for us here. Looks like he is going to get the Miner on the tower. Pretty hard to defend the Miner plus EQ combo, since we don't have like an Ice Spirit to catch his Miners easily, but honestly pretty okay for us here. We do always want to be like up a bit of damage though, because we know he's playing a Miner deck, so we can always get that easy chip damage, whereas we can't really get any consistent Hog hits or anything like that. So we're gonna have to I don't know, like we're gonna have to like work a bit harder for whatever we do. We actually could have EQ'd the Tesla in the tower, but I was kind of like not thinking he would go with it in that position, so I kind of got wrecked there by his Tesla, but yeah. I probably could have hit that Tesla too, but honestly that wouldn't really have mattered at all there, so it doesn't really matter, but maybe we can try to outcycle his Tesla here in a second. He's gonna go with the EQ as well, so he must be pretty low on Elixir. He does get the Tesla down just in time, but he's probably like gonna start falling behind in cycle a little bit, so we might be able to outcycle him here. Okay, I'm gonna go really aggressive. He must have like almost no Elixir after spending that Miner and EQ. And looks like he's not gonna have a Tesla ready, and Hog actually gonna score 2 hits right now, so just need to catch his last Miner hopefully, and that's actually gonna be GG against like a pretty difficult matchup against one of the best players in the world too. Alright, hopping in the third match here, we're going to be up against Jorge Luis, who is a really good giant graveyard player. Luckily we do have the Queen version though, which is definitely going to be a bit better than the Firecracker version, so at least we do have something for us. Looks like he is just going to go with the giant first place, so I'm just going to hog other lane. Going to get 2 shots, so pretty good for us here. And yeah, like the nice thing about Queen here is that you can actually like punish them for being too aggressive. Like the Queen is going to get good value on defense, and we're gonna probably get back to another ability by the time the Queen crosses the bridge, so that's why it's a little bit nicer to have Queen here. Looks like he will get some good graveyard chip damage though, but pretty fine stuff for us here. His minions are a little bit annoying though, because it doesn't really I mean, it kind of like always forces out a lot of Elixir from us, because we do have like a Fire Spirit, but if we don't have like the Queen targeting them, then we can't really have any way to kill it behind the giant, or at least any cost efficient way to kill it behind the giant. So yeah, and he does have Queen over Musketeer, which is a bit interesting, but honestly not really too bad for us. I'll take that, honestly. Like I feel like Musketeer's even harder than facing Queen against like Giant Graveyard when you're playing Hog EQ, so I think it should be fine for us here. And we are gonna get 2 more Hog hits right there against the Dark Prince, so already looking really good here. Unfortunately, we do play the Skeletons like a second too early, I think, and Dark Prince gonna get like only, I mean, Dark Prince is gonna one-shot them rather than 2-shot, so not perfect, but it doesn't really matter with the bomb tower either way, I think. And we do have a bit of a lead here, which is honestly pretty good, because even in double elixir, it's pretty fine still if you play well enough. So not gonna really be too much of a disadvantage for us, even though it's already double elixir. Looks like he is gonna get a nice high Skarmy. We're not really gonna be able to hit it with the EQ there, but at least we did still force out the snowball. And looks like he actually will have to let the Fire Spirit connect, which is honestly really good for us. Always really nice to get those Fire Spirit connections. Now we do have to watch out here for his Giant Graveyard push. We don't really have like a Knight in cycle or anything, so I'm just gonna go with the Hog here. Hopefully like force him to defend a bit. Looks like he's gonna go with this Skarmy there, but yeah, should be pretty fine, I think. Luckily, the log does hit the giant as well, and we're gonna kite his minions with the Hog Rider here. Hopefully, can sneak in one shot unless he like snowballs. And looks like he will snowball here, but should be fine. And I'm gonna get a queen in the left side just so that it will also like stop his giant pushes. And we do actually block his giant at the river with a bomb tower, so really smart play there. Should help us a good amount. And yeah, it made his graveyard kind of useless here. But it is pretty close right now, and it's going to be hard for us to ever get any damage since he does have this snowball, but maybe if we're lucky we can somehow break through. It's a little bit risky to cycle our EQs though, since he has like the graveyard that he can use at any moment, so I don't really want to go too aggressive with that. And it looks like he's just going to go with the plain graveyard, and he does go with the Dark Prince as well, so I think he has like no elixir to defend, so that's actually going to be GG here. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy who is an E-Giant player that I have faced in a lot of my recent videos. Normally is a really good matchup when you have Firecracker, but it is a bit more dicey when you have Queen in your deck over the Firecracker, because it just gives them a lot of lightning value on all your units. But if we play it well enough, it should be okay, I think. We do also have to watch out for his Archer Queens a little bit, gonna be a little bit risky sometimes. Okay, unfortunately his Queen does actually get one shot. I kind of wasn't expecting it to actually get that final hit, but I guess Queen always does end up Queen always does end up getting that one extra shot than you think it should, so yeah, a bit unlucky there. I feel like with the even with the slow nerf, like to the Queen where it goes extra slow during the ability, I feel like they also should have nerfed its HP a little bit so that it dies to like a fireball log and it doesn't always get like those lucky extra hits with like 1 HP left like it sometimes does now. So we're gonna make him use the ability really early. That's why I went with like the high Queen of my own there, just to force him to go with the early ability so I wouldn't have to worry about it on offense, and works out pretty well for us here. We are down a little bit here, but not really too worried, and he's gonna have to spend something on the Fire Spirit as well. Yes, we will go with the Goblin Cage, but we're just gonna Archer Queen here. He might go with like a E-Giant or something on the Archer Queen, but if he does, it's gonna be a easy bomb tower for me. Yeah, looks like he will go for it. That's what they usually do, so I was kind of just expecting that. We are gonna kite the Goblin Brawler a little bit backwards, kind of, with the Hog Rider, and he will actually go with the Queen right at the same time as our Hog Rider, so he actually doesn't have enough for an 8-0, it looks like, and gonna be a pretty good defense overall. Yeah, basically a flawless defense actually, so really nice here. I'm just gonna EQ here. Don't really want to Hog right away because I don't have like a log or something to reset his Goblin Cage a little bit to the side, so yeah. And I'm gonna go with the High Queen here, just so that like he's gonna probably have to use like a E-Giant or something at the at the bridge, but if he goes for that, then it's going to be a pretty bad E-Giant push without much support, so I'm not really too scared of something like that. Yeah, he might Lightning here in a bit, possibly. Yeah, looks like he does go with the Lightning there, but I was kind of ready for it, just always preparing for the worst, I guess, and works out pretty well for us here on defense. We're going to get an EQ off on the cage here as well. Gonna force him to use the NATO and the Dark Prince, so we're just applying really good pressure right now. Even though he has like a lot of answers to the Queen, it still seems like it's getting pretty good value just like by applying pressure at the perfect times when he doesn't have like the correct hand to defend it. And it's kind of nice for us that our knight actually pushed his Queen back a lot, so it made it like not really like close to the tower while it was invisible, so that kind of helped us a little bit. Alright, and I'm gonna just go with the Queen ability last second. Like now, ever since the bit of a Queen nerf that happened like a few days ago, it's always better to go with your Queen ability last second, like even more so than before, just so that you can always make sure to get as much value out of it as possible without having to like walk forward too much. And unfortunately his Queen does get quite a bit of chip damage, but I'm not too worried here. Just gonna go aggressive with a Queen plus Hog Rider. Looks like we do have Drop Witch once again on our Hog Rider, kind of unlucky there. Luckily the Queen doesn't die from the Dark Prince splash right away, and we only get our elixir back like 10 seconds later. Yeah, he does go with the Lightning here. We might have to get a second bomb tower, kind of awkwardly. We do have to like make sure we can cycle really quickly back to another one though, because he might go with, yeah, it looks like he's gonna go with the E-Giant here. So this is gonna be really tight right here. I don't think our Queen is gonna like target anything of his push, so yeah. Okay, that was actually really lucky for us that he went with the Lightning on our Queen instead of on the Knight there, because I think if he had Lightninged our Knight there, he would have actually taken like most of our towers, so looks like that mistake is gonna actually cost him, and that's gonna be GG. Alright, hopping in the final match here, we're going to be up against this guy, and I am pretty sure I know what he is playing. I think he is using Giant Graveyard as well, which has actually become pretty popular. Like, before it was a bit unpopular, but ever since the Giant buff and the buff to, like, a couple other cards in... Or maybe not a couple other cards, but I feel like a few cards in Giant Graveyard have been buffed. Like, they sometimes use the mini Pekka in their deck, and that has been buffed, and also the Musketeer has been buffed, which they sometimes use, so it feels like Giant Graveyard has definitely came back a lot recently, which is not the greatest for me because it is a bit of a weird matchup, but definitely a lot better with Queen. That's kind of why I always like having Queen in this deck. It always helps against those, I don't know, kind of random matchups, I guess you could say. It looks like this guy does have Bowler as well, which is a little bit weird for us. Bowler always going to be kind of annoying, even though it like doesn't fully counter the Hog on its own. It's always really annoying to face Bowler because it will like always deny like any Night Hog pushes from getting any good value. So even though it doesn't do that well against like a normal Hog, it can easily counter it in combination with anything, or it can just like stop like a Hog push no matter how big it really is. So yeah. I'm just going to go with a Hog. You're going to get a Fire Spirit off as well. I was kind of hoping that he would use some kind of Swarm card or something like that, but looks like he's just going to go with the Giant here. So I'm just going to Queen ability, and should actually kill the majority of the Giant. Yeah, Queen kind of broken, if you guys haven't noticed. We do kind of have to make sure to like get damage on both of his towers though, because we can't really break through in one lane if he just like stacks bowlers and stuff, so gonna be a little bit awkward still. I'm just gonna Knight other lane to apply a bit of pressure. He does have Barbs in cycle, so no point in really going with like a Hog Rider as well. It looks like he's gonna go with the Barbs here, so we just have to see which lane he decides to push in with his Giant. Okay, so he's gonna go in the left lane here. I'm just gonna Hog right now in the right lane, even though it's not the lane I'm going for. I kind of had a bit of an awkward cycle and kind of just wanted to apply a small amount of pressure that I could. And honestly, pretty solid defense here. He looks like he is going to go with a bowler there to counter our queen, which is a little bit annoying because we can't really use the ability there just because of the knight kind of getting in the way, but should get a pretty good value bomb tower here on his barbs and also should block his bowler a little bit, I hope. Okay, unfortunately his bowler actually does manage to splash our fire spirit, but not the worst defense either though. At least he is kind of more confined to going in the left lane right now, so could probably pressure the right lane a lot better and not have to worry about counter push it as much. Alright, so he's going to go with the giant here. I'm just going to go with the queen and a bomb tower. Alright, so we are actually pretty low elixir here. I was kind of hoping that he would not do something like that. And looks like he's going to get a ton of damage. Yeah, bowler just really annoying right now, but... okay, looks like Fire Spirit actually dodged his bowler shot somehow, so we are going to get a hog hit and also the Fire Spirit splash damage, so... we do have to be a bit careful now, though, because we are in a bit of a tight spot, and we can't really, like, break through with our hog too easily unless we get, like, a log with it, maybe, so... just gonna go with the log here, hopefully, like, knocking back his barbarians, maybe allow us to get a hog hit. Looks like we actually do get a hog hit there. It's always really good to go in with the hog plus log combo because it like will allow you to get a extra hog hit a lot of the time when they play something like a, I don't know, whatever they want to counter your hog, but looks like that's going to be GG, really close game. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!